Good evening, and please be seated. The simultaneous pursuit of the best self and the common good. This is the epic endeavor for each Millbrook student. This is the worthy challenge they face. This is exactly as it should be in a community whose motto is non sibi sed cunctus, not for oneself, but for all. Tonight we gather to honor this Millbrook excellence in the class of 2019. Tonight we'll recognize those six formers whose efforts, performances, and contributions to the greater good have distinguished themselves and their school. It's now my pleasure to turn to Prefects Dominic Pelosi and Isabel Puccinella to lead the prize night ceremony. Dominic, Isabella.
Ms. Helen C. Apollon will now introduce the 2019 gift acknowledgement.
Earlier this evening, the class of 2019 throne was dedicated in honor of our class. We wish to thank our parents and grandparents who made this possible. In addition, our class has made a gift of Adirondack chairs to be placed at the throne and at designated spots in nature.
Ms. Devandria C. Bernard will now present the McSweeney Tour Guide Award.
The McSweeney Admission Award was established by the class of 1956 in memory of Edward F. McSweeney. Each year, a member of the sixth form class who embodies the spirit of Edward F. McSweeney through his or her hospitality with visiting families is given this award. This young man or woman must be an exemplary ambassador of Millbrook, embodying Millbrook's core values while conducting tours, serving on panels, or representing Millbrook at receptions. By a show of hands, students and parents, how many of you remember your tour of Millbrook, revisit day, or reception? I want you to look around. This community, these students, keep your hands up, do this better than anybody else. And there are two people who have gone above and beyond, making this year's McSweeney Admission Award recipients, Ryan Davis and Hugo Dormont. Ryan, a 2-year head tour guide, was extremely reliable and there to take on whatever was needed in the office. From doing last-minute tours, attending receptions, or sitting with families at lunch, Ryan always brought forth his honesty, energy, and appreciation for Millbrook, and it radiated onto prospective families. Whenever Ryan met a family, he received nothing but positive remarks and left parents saying that they know their child should be at Millbrook after meeting him. Hugo was somebody who could be relied on for any and everything the office needed. I'm sure I've woken him up once or twice in the middle of the night, asking him to give a tour the very next day on his sleep-in, and he always showed up. His confidence, unwavering support, and enthusiasm towards Millbrook was unmatched, and he helped families feel welcome. Hugo, Ryan, you have been exemplary Millbrook students with everything you got your hands on, as dorm leaders, team captains, head tour guides, and now McSweeney Award recipients. The admission office thanks you and is grateful for all that you've done to help welcome the bright future of Millbrook.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Brian P. Krause will now present the 4-year varsity letter awards, followed by the Frederick W. Knudsen trophies.
Established by former faculty member James L. Jordy, this award is presented to any 4-year student who lettered in the same varsity sport or sports for 4 consecutive years. I am proud to announce that this year there are 18 recipients of this honor. The award is a testament to each student athlete's commitment and sacrifice. Will you each please come forward when I call your name, and would the audience please hold your applause until the entire group is on stage. Helen Apollon, basketball and softball. Adelaide Arma, soccer. Helen Boone, softball. Usaini Buddha, soccer and track and field. Lucille Burke, field hockey. Elizabeth Chamberlain, soccer and basketball. Sean Coleman, soccer. Greta Garshagen, soccer. Joseph Grossman, golf. Victoria Hamilton, lacrosse. Lily Marcos, cross country and basketball. Swabatu Muhammad, soccer. Daniela Mascari, basketball and lacrosse. Rafaela Pope, cross country. Jaden Reeves, basketball. Chloe Robinson, field hockey, ice hockey, and lacrosse. Will Simons, tennis, and Colin Tardio, tennis. Congratulations to you all, and thank you for all you have done for Millbrook Athletics. I have one for everyone.
Swiss and Daniela. This is for Rafaela. Nope, Chloe and Will is one now.
We got taking a photo now? We all gonna fit in this? We have to get back there. Good. Congratulations. The Frederick W. Knudsen Trophy goes to a sixth form boy and girl who best represent what it means to be the most outstanding athletes in their class. In addition to exhibiting top-notch athletic ability, these students will have shown a commitment to academics, will have played at least 2 varsity sports, and will have demonstrated the integrity, leadership, and character that is fundamental to Millbrook's mission and spirit. Selected by Millbrook's coaching staff, this year's winners of the Frederick W. Knudsen Trophy are Usaini Buddha and Chloe Robinson. Nini and Chloe are clearly dedicated athletes. As sixth formers, they both were instrumental in leading their teams. Chloe, a 4-year sixth former, accumulated 12 varsity letters in field hockey, ice hockey, and lacrosse. Nini, a 4-year sixth former, earned 8 varsity letters in soccer and track and field. Nini is that player that every coach wants on their team. While his contributions were noted on the track, Nini has left an everlasting mark on Millbrook's soccer program. Personally, I will remember the way in which Nini attained his many accolades. Whether working with teammates before and after practices, shoveling snow off the turf for one last rep, or dripping sweat each and every day in the weight room, I remain in awe of the level of commitment and drive he possesses. Not only did Nini push himself to be the best he could be, he pushed and willed each of his teammates to do the same. Nini, this award will cement you in Millbrook's history as one of our most talented athletes. When I asked Chloe's coaches for adjectives to describe her, there were not a shortage of superlatives. Among them, dedicated, talented, driven, loyal, and game changer. If you ever had the opportunity to see Chloe play, it is no wonder she is described in this manner. I am certain if given the opportunity, she could have lettered in any sport Millbrook offered. Chloe is truly one of a kind. Whether on the turf or ice, Chloe's leadership and ability set the bar for her teammates. It is for these reasons that Chloe will join Nini as a recipient of this honor. Chloe and Nini, thank you for your commitment to Millbrook Athletics. We couldn't be prouder. Best of luck moving forward.
Ms. Sarah B. Macwright will now present the Christian Steele Class of '91 Award for Excellence in Technical Theater, as well as the Nathaniel B. Abbott Cup.
The Christian Staley Award for Excellence in Technical Theater is given in memory of Christian Staley, class of 1991. The winner of this prize receives a varsity letter jacket embroidered with his or her name. This year we have 2 winners, Harrison Rosenfeld and Mallory Stafford. There is a stereotype for technical theater types: meek and mild, hiding up in the booth, never speaking up. And then there's Harrison and Mallory. Their very best traits include their willingness to collaborate, to be there exactly when you need their help, and to speak their minds. And we wouldn't rather have it any other way. Congratulations, Mallory and Harrison, and thank you so much for being there for us. The Nathaniel B. Abbott Cup is named for Nathaniel Abbott, longtime teacher and administrator at Millbrook School. This prize is given in recognition of that student, or those students, who have helped shape the spirit of the arts at Millbrook. This year we recognize Tito Crichton Stewart and Charlotte Meggs. Awarding this prize requires asking the question, what is the spirit of the arts at Millbrook? Is it dark and moody like Vincent van Gogh on a bad day? Is it political and bold like Frida Kahlo? Is it effervescent and giggly like Taylor Swift before 2013? Answer, all of the above. Tito and Charlotte embody the spirit of the arts because they are the ones who hold doors open for all these spirits and more. Tito does it all: drawing, acting, improving, photographing, and being photographed, and just being a presence at every art event. When Tito is around, and when is he not, art making is a family affair. Charlotte holds the door of the arts open to visitors, stopping whenever there is a tour to smile, to say hello, and to offer advice. She is a masterful ceramicist, an innovator who worked with Dr. Lacoste to create a thermocouple for the wood kiln, and a creative mind unrestrained by medium. She will be the first to invite you to her crew firing, and will help you through each step once you're there. Tito and Charlotte, in their own ways, have helped make the arms of the art program so long they reach out into the world, connecting art to science, to literature, to the zoo, and beyond. Tito and Charlotte will let you know it. Everyone is welcome here. Congratulations to you both.
Mr. Walker R. Zeiser will now present the English Poetry Prize and the English Writing Prize.
On behalf of the English department and the entire greater academic community at Millbrook, it's my privilege to present both the Poetry Prize and the Writing Prize. The Poetry Prize, open to students from all forms. This prize honors the work of Millbrook's young poets. 17 students submitted poems for consideration this year, and I am delighted to announce that this year's winner is Ellie Stewart. Ellie, you are a poet of simple but striking imagery, using your words with care to reveal powerful and even unsettling insights as you explore contemporary experiences through the lens of revisioned mythologies. Allow me to read your poem entitled, Do Not Think. Why is it that women always come easier to me? Whether it is my pen to paper, brush to canvas, or hand to clay. Maybe it is the fact that the curve of their breasts mimic mine, the slope of their stomach, the line of their clavicle, the curl of their fingers into a fist is mine. The mark of their struggle on their mind, the flow of their blood, the beat of their chest, all is mine. I suppose it is no surprise that I, Eve of the wayward rib, born of his flesh, spat on his two-faced gift of nativity. Do not think that I ate the apple by accident. I suppose it is no surprise that I, Pandora of the treacherous mind, scapegoat of the gods, traitorous gift to man, did not open the box by accident. I am Eve, and here lie my children. I am Pandora, and here lie my monsters. Thank you, Ellie, and congratulations. The English Department Writing Prize is open only to sixth formers.
To be considered for this prize, students must submit a portfolio of 3 major works, which demonstrates the range of his or her writing, and it may include personal and creative pieces in addition to analytical essays. I want to take this opportunity to thank the 10 students who chose to compete this year for the prize. And it gives me great pleasure to announce that the winner of the 2019 English Writing Prize is Claire Carty. Claire, your portfolio demonstrated a wonderful command of language. You write with clarity. Oh, please. Substance, I'll go back. You write with clarity, substance, and the utmost respect for your reader. I could read from any of the works you submitted from your portfolio. Your sensitive interpretation of John Keats's poem Ode to a Nightingale, or perhaps from one of your own Pink poems, or from your impressive analysis of female slave resistance. Indeed, I could read from any of them, but I chose to share your prose poem. It's raining out. The windows are being pelted by thick, wet drops. It feels as though I am wet. I have to wring out my shirt to be sure of the fact that I am not. It is dry, but I am hit with a sudden craving to be wet, to feel the warm summer rain run down my skin. I want to make a puddle on the floor. I want to pull the water out of my hair and leave it on the carpet. The window is unlocked, taunting me, reminding me of what I do not have. My long fingers reach out and grip the glass, pushing it up until it hits the top and is jolted to a stop. I stick my head out into the gray world and let the drops envelop me, take me in. I am a part of it, of the trees that are shaking, the cars driving slowly down below. I am part of the rain that continues on for miles and the sky that spans the earth. I am not alone. I am only alone when I am pulled back in and I stand in the shallow puddle of my memory. My wet hair reminds me of the place that I have found. Thank you, Claire, and congratulations.
The Sykes Mathematics Prize will now be presented by Mrs. Martha S. Clisby.
For the past 4 years, perplexing equations and vexing proofs have been mysteriously solved under the cover of night. Students toiling with trig identities and puzzling over polar graphs have been rescued by mathematical Samaritans who disappear before they can be properly thanked. This evening, I am proud to announce that these masked mathematical superheroes have been identified. Kevin Yu, Colin Tardio, Vivian Yu, will you please join me up here on stage? Every year, the Sykes Mathematics Prize is awarded to what we in the math department call a math stud. A math stud is a student who exhibits grit, curiosity, joy, respect for and commitment to the subject, enthusiasm for math's challenges, and most importantly to us, mathematical generosity. In our math classes this year, we had many math studs, too many to name, but not too many to appreciate. And we have several math sits, or studs in training, like my Algebra 2 class this year. But before you now stand math superheroes. These seemingly mild-mannered students form an elite squad known as the calculators. These three unassuming students perform calculations ranging from basic arithmetic to complex mathematics, and they have helped make solving math problems faster and more accessible to billions of students the world over, but most notably here at Millbrook. Here is the senior you know as Colin Tardio by day. But by night, he is Protractor Man. Colin's superpower is mathematical flexibility. He has a knack for coming at math problems from all different angles until he conquers them. Yes, I said angles. Next, we have Kevin Yu, also known as Axiom.
Let me give that to Kevin.
Kevin's superpower is consistent accuracy. What Kevin says in math is typically considered law. Kevin's peers have been known to say with frequency, if you did not get what Kevin got for an answer, then you got it wrong. And finally, we have Vivian Yu, AKA Infinity. We always knew this, didn't we? Her mathematical superpower is that she is unbounded by normal conventions. Unlike mere mortals, she possesses limitless time, patience, and grit. We want to thank our superheroes for being so super, but we also want to thank you for being ordinary. While masquerading as human high schoolers, you have inspired all of our students to strive for great achievements in math. Thank you, and congratulations.
Sorry.
The Clark Language Prize will now be presented by Mr. William E. Tom.
The Clark Language Prize is given in memory of Margaret and Renee Clark, French teachers from 1954 to 1973. It is awarded to the graduate or graduates who have demonstrated excellence in modern language in areas that were the hallmarks of the Clark's teaching: oral proficiency and cross-cultural understanding. It was first given in 1985. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2019 winner of the Clark Language Prize is Tito Crichton-Stewart. L'identité, la passion, la connexion humaine. Identity, passion, human connection. Not only are these three terms that encompass Tito's experience building towards fluency, fluidity, and a complete other existence in the French language and Francophone culture, but he could also pronounce them a lot more beautifully than I just did. I was up all night studying. This is Tito's calling card, an ability to communicate orally that not only shows the depth of his thought, but also the beauty of his skill and personality within the French language. Tito, think back to just 3 short years ago. I think you would agree that at that time, you had a long way to go to get where you are now. Yeah? Okay. Your process of growth is the greatest gift you could have given to the department and the school, culminating in a thought-provoking French language magazine about art and identity that was one of your unique creations. Excited by the opportunity to live and learn immersively through the School Year Abroad program in Rennes, France, you took a risk your fifth form year, and ever since you have served as a phenomenal exemplar for an inclusive, multicultural, and multilingual education. Tito, to you we say, félicitations et bonne chance.
Ms. Ava Y. Goodale will now present the Frank W. Trevor Cup and the Science Prize.
The Frank W. Trevor Cup is awarded to a member of the graduating class who has made the most significant contributions through study, project, or zoo work to the natural sciences and environmental stewardship at Millbrook School. Please join me in congratulating not one, but three recipients: Mac Grosscup, Charlotte Meggs, and Drew Moriarty. Not many high schoolers can say, "I've fed a tiger. I've held sea turtles in 2 countries. I've forged a flooded Amazonian forest." All told, these 3 have enough experience to be taken to seasoned professionals in zoology, conservation biology, and sustainability. And indeed they have, as they greeted zoo visitors as head curators, participated in summer internships, and presented their research projects at the Science Symposium, all of which related to the zoo and conservation. These 3 have moved well beyond being advanced students and actually have found themselves shoulder to shoulder with faculty members on many occasions. From facilitating a sustainability summit with multiple schools, to attending committee meetings and conferences, to welcoming famous scientists to campus, and even traveling to the Mecca of biodiversity to learn firsthand about stewardship alongside teachers and Indigenous people. As they conclude their time at Millbrook, I consider this talented group more as colleagues than students. Their experiences are impressive, but not entirely the reason they are receiving this award. For these young leaders, their experiences are not about resume building or individual achievement. It is about leaving a legacy, one that lasts longer than their time at Millbrook, and one that ripples well beyond our campus. Signs of their legacy are all around. Go to the zoo gift store to find Charlotte's ceramic CES that we've heard so much about. Drew invigorated Scape spurred us closer to carbon neutrality, and his honors level CES reminds us that social justice and stewardship go hand in hand. You'll see fewer plastics around campus because of Mac, more turtles, better keeper talks at the zoo, and even notice some excellently trained marmosets at the zoo because of his honors level CES. But the legacy is not in the accomplishment, it is in the story. Their stories from all of these experiences have allowed them to be caregivers and scientists who are guided first by their hearts. Their stories are where you will connect with Mac's charisma, Charlotte's sincerity, and Drew's passion. Mac, Charlotte, and Drew, your legacy is that you have shown others, including myself, what it means to care deeply, to have that care drive your commitment and have those commitments leave a legacy. It has been an honor to stand by as you fulfill your dreams. Millbrook is truly a better school because of you. Please join me in congratulating them all on earning the 2019 Trevor Cup. Science Prize is awarded to a senior who has demonstrated achievement, curiosity, and creative thinking in exploring scientific concepts, whose enthusiasm has acted as a catalyst in furthering scientific understanding and dialogue, and who clearly strives for excellence in all science disciplines. It is with great pleasure that the Science Department awards this year's Science Prize to Lily Marcos. Lily has sailed through our science curriculum, doubling for the last 2 years to fit in a total of 6 classes, more than half of which have been at the advanced level. Now, by sailed through, I mean hit speed bumps, crashed rockets, dropped beakers, and had outbursts of frustrations, like only a true scientist would. But all of these ups and downs allowed Lily to develop a certain intellectual restlessness. She is not easily satisfied, needs more than just scratching the surface, and has a nimble and active mind. Lily has always stood out in the classroom, but it is her growth that puts her on the stage tonight. Where her teachers once saw reluctance, we now see a tenacious risk taker. A role as observer shifted into leadership. Second guessing became an honest and proactive self-assessment. Uncertainty was replaced with unrelenting determination. All of these traits culminated in her independent research project about exercise and memory. The project was inspired by a summer internship and motivated by her career ambitions. After hours of reading scientific papers, developing her protocol, scheduling and rescheduling students, and analyzing her data, in the end, Lily found the relationship between her variables was not significant. But true to Lily's character, she did not view these results as a setback. She buckled down, sought out support, and in the end, deepened her understanding of the scientific process. Lily, thank you for enriching our classrooms, and stay restless. Please join me in congratulating Lily Marcos on winning the 2019 Science Prize.
The Blaine History Essay Award will now be presented by Mr. Mark A. Clisby.
There are 4 finalists in the Blaine Prize contest this year. They were Lily Marcus, Vivian Yu, Lizzie Chamberlain, and Claire Carty. And the winner this year is Claire Carty. Good scholarship combines combat and compromise, the desire to find one's own truth and the humility to acknowledge that it might be wrong after all. It requires discipline, toughness, intelligence, and not least a sense of humor. I can't think of 4 people better equipped for such an endeavor than Lily, Vivian, Lizzie, and Claire. Each one of these papers put up a fight. Lily took on Amazon.com and what she, and very recently a federal lawsuit, see as fundamentally unfair competitive practices. Vivian challenged the government of the People's Republic of China to reconsider its own assumptions about Chinese history and culture. Lizzie almost literally fought 2 members of the Department of History and Social Sciences at Millbrook School while clawing her way to an argument about the proper concept of citizenship and the need for a new approach to birthright citizenship. And Claire argued that if we are to rid ourselves of the culture of rape that has so troubled us for so long, we will need to reimagine our entire approach to competition and conflict. Rape, she argued, is not an accident, but a feature of competitive societies. The implications of these arguments range far beyond mere academic exercise. They demand action from people who have been too complacent for too long. Every one of them, though, did more than announce an answer and then stop. Having considered more than one perspective on a problem, they looked for ways to address the needs of everyone involved, to find solutions rather than just taking positions. Claire is here on the stage because our outside reader, Professor Eric Morser of Skidmore College, found her paper to be the best of the bunch. And if you know Claire, you have heard that goofy laugh of hers right in the middle of a serious argument. Hard, but humble. She and her paper are to be respected, and for that, she has been awarded this year's Blaine Essay Prize. Congratulations.
Miss Eileen Jeffries will now present the Emily Roosevelt Class of '87 Public Service Award.
Marian Wright Edelman said, "Service is the rent we pay for being. It is the very purpose of life, not something you do in your spare time." Emily Roosevelt, class of 1987, and my advisee, understood this in her career as a lawyer, working for those who were disadvantaged and marginalized. Emily also worked as an advocate for organ donation, which she understood very well, for she was a recipient of a heart. Emily died in 2010, and her parents, Chris and Roddy Roosevelt, wanted to honor Emily by establishing the Emily Roosevelt 1987 Public Service Award to be given to a sixth form student. Several students were nominated for this year's prize, and I'd like to ask those nominees to stand so that I may share who they are before announcing this year's recipients. They are Drew Moriarty, Mac Grosscup, and Dorothy Walker. This year we celebrate two recipients for the Emily Roosevelt Class of 1987 Public Service Award. I ask that Adelaide Armah and Helen Boone join me on the dais. As many of you are aware, Adelaide comes to Millbrook through the Right to Dream Academy in Ghana. Adelaide believes in the gift of education, and especially that young women should have equal access to that gift. She considers herself one of the fortunate ones, and she has been consistently looked for ways to give back to the academy that made her opportunities possible, as well as to the young people of the rural villages around Right to Dream. On a large scale, Adelaide has told her story to Nike, Coca-Cola, and the Tula Oil Company in order to help the Academy develop corporate sponsorships that will allow it to help more young people in Africa. She has crafted speeches carefully and effectively for each audience, knowing what is at stake. More immediately, she has fundraised for an after-school center at Old Akrad, where children from 3 village schools surrounding Right to Dream can go for access to electricity and laptops in order to complete homework and prepare for the required high school entrance exam. For Adelaide, sports has been a platform to access education, and she is keenly aware that girls in Ghana don't have the same chance as boys. Students who traveled to Ghana with Millbrook last summer will not forget Adelaide's powerful voice at the Fuzuko, I'm going to say that wrong, Fuzuko, is that? Yeah, village school, when the headmaster tried to shut the girls out of playing in the soccer tournament against a neighboring village. Adelaide confronted the headmaster and the referees and told them under no circumstance would the girls be kept from playing. Her voice carried the day. The girls played. Many of us know Helen is a lifelong Girl Scout. We know this through her Girl Scout cookie sales and tales of summer camping trips with her troop. But what we don't know about Helen's Girl Scouting is her commitment to social justice, and through this, her leadership in addressing inequality and resource accessibility in her hometown of Beaumont, Texas. We don't know much about it because Helen is, well, very private, but she is open-hearted, she's unprejudiced, and she's passionate about building bridges across differences. And as Helen has said, we need to make change happen. As one of the only white girls in her mostly Latino and Black middle school, she learned firsthand of the blatant lack of attention given to students to prepare them for high school and college. While at Millbrook, these injustices became increasingly apparent as she benefited from the resources available to her here. Helen still kept in touch with her many friends back home, and using her training and network of mentors and peers from the Girl Scouts, she developed a program to provide free SAT preparation and college advising for students without any college prep resources. Her goals were to inspire students and to learn how passion and perseverance can benefit a student's education. After a year of coordinating long distance, her program is fully vetted and ready to start in earnest when she returns to Texas. The mark of a Girl Scout is her courage, confidence, and character deployed to make the world a better place. Helen is a true Girl Scout. Adelaide and Helen, you truly know the understanding and understand service is the rent we pay for being. It is the very purpose of life, not something you do in your spare time. It is with great joy that you are the 2019 recipients of the Emily Roosevelt Class of 1987 Public Service Award. We congratulate you.
Ms. Jarrett R. Clark will now read the Senior Honor Roll.
I will now read the names of all the sixth formers on the honor roll for the full 2018-19 school year. The list is a testament to the myriad accomplishments of this class. Sixth formers, please stand when I call your name, and please remain standing while I read the full list. I ask that everyone hold their applause until all the names are read. Ethan Abraham, Helen Apollon, Adelaide Arma, Valentina Beauchamp, Helen Boone, Useni Buddha, Claire Carty, Lizzie Chamberlain, Madison Connolly, Peter Conti, Tito Crichton Stewart, Ryan Davis, Dexter Day, Ian Devine, Owen Finnerty, Henry Frankenbach, Greta Garshagen, Emma Godelf, Mac Rosecup, Claire Harpel, Jay Harris, Brian Kenyon, Skylar Mahaffey, Summer Mahaffey, Lily Marcos, Stu Martin, Alyssa McLeod, Charlotte Meggs, Lily Murphy, Dominic Pelosi, Isabella Puccinelli, Jaden Reeves, Chloe Robinson, Harrison Rosenfeld, Apirat Sothia, Ellie Stewart, Colin Tardio, Nicole Turner, Riley Van Dyne, Rachel Wong, Carolyn Whitney, Vivian Yu, and Adam Zip. Congratulations to you all.
Headmaster Drew J. Casertano will now present the Headmaster's Merit Awards as well as the Class of 1978 Award.
The citation for the Headmaster's Merit Award reads, "To that senior whose personal strengths and contributions merit special recognition." Tonight there are 6 seniors who hold strengths and contributions beyond recognition. Please hold your applause until I read their names. Lizzie Chamberlain, Jake Gagnon, Stu Martin, Daniela Mascari, Isabella Puccinelli, and Dorothy Walker. Please come forward. The theme here is unsung hero, a behind-the-scenes leader. Well, this group has plenty of titles and responsibilities. Lizzie is a peer counselor and team captain. Jake is a prefect, dorm leader, and 2-sport captain. Stu is a dorm leader and captain. Daniela is a prefect, dorm leader, and captain. Isabella is a prefect. Dorothy is a dorm leader and captain. You get the picture. Actually, you don't. Because these 6 do so much and ask for so little in return. They're grinders. And with 2 hockey captains in the group, they'll take that as a compliment, and they should. And by the way, they don't take compliments very well. Typically, they respond with a turn of a head, a face that becomes flushed, a self-deprecating comment or praise for someone else. That makes their substantial efforts and contributions even more admirable. So, it's my great pleasure to embarrass, recognize, and thank Lizzie, Jake, Stu, Daniela, Isabella, and Dorothy with the Headmaster's Merit Award. Want a picture first? Sure. Come on down, kids.
Pretend you like it.
Stu? See, I told you they'd be embarrassed. Wait, Dorothy. Daniela, congratulations. Lizzie, congratulations. And Isabella, congratulations. Well done, all. The Class of 1978 Award. In 1978, Millbrook was in tough shape. Enrollment was low and morale even lower. The school desperately needed someone to rise up, to build enthusiasm, to make the best of the situation. Class of 1978 did just that, and the faculty created the award in this honor. Elected by the faculty, and presented annually to a member or members of the 6th form, the Class of 1978 Award celebrates that person or those persons whose spirit and enthusiasm have significantly enhanced the traditions of Millbrook School. On behalf of my colleagues, I'm delighted to present the Class of 1978 Award to Dominic Pelosi and Chloe Robinson. Here we have a dramatic contrast in style with identical outcomes. Think of Dominic as the court jester, someone willing to play the fool to put others at ease, to help them feel welcome and safe, and put a smile on their face. Are you wearing that belt? Yeah. His belt buckle says smile. Understand that beneath this act is extraordinary generosity and sensitivity for others, as evidenced by his excellent work as a peer counselor and prefect. And the man is indeed no fool as a cum laude scholar. He makes it all look so easy. Or as Mr. Williams, Dominic's advisor, wrote, he somehow combines raw emotion with sage wisdom. He somehow meshes boisterous enthusiasm with understanding and empathy. He truly is the definition of non sibi sed cunctus. Think of Chloe as a freight train, speeding forward, always forward. She is a restless and relentless in pursuit of her best self as a budding scholar who, like Dominic, was inducted into cum laude in April, and as an athlete who, as we heard earlier tonight, earned 12 varsity letters and was awarded the Knudsen Prize. Chloe is equally committed to the greater good of Millbrook as a prefect and 2-year dorm leader who chose to live with the third form girls this year, just as Dominic agreed to be a leader and role model for the third form boys. In the introduction to her culminating experience for seniors titled Truth, Chloe told us all we need to know about why she stands here tonight. She said, not for oneself, but for all. That is Millbrook. I want to leave Millbrook better than I found it. Chloe and Dominic, Millbrook is so much the better because of your attitude, effort, and devotion. As you head off to Bates and Colby, we thank you and congratulate you with the 1978 award. Before we close with some announcements, I want to ask for your help in wishing farewell and Godspeed to members of the Millbrook faculty who, like the seniors, will leave us at the end of this year. Robin Michelle Arndt, Colin Brown, Nate Meltzer, Leigh Pond, Anna Spinella, and Ned Young will pursue new adventures and opportunities. And Candy Zakarian is retiring after 13 years as our skilled athletic trainer who reinvented herself as our outstanding campus photographer. In both roles, Candy has served Millbrook in meaningful ways, and her example of personal growth and her professional reinvention have been an inspiration as she pursued her passion for photography. She and Karen will move to Durham, North Carolina for this next chapter of their lives. Please join me in expressing our most heartfelt thanks to these departing colleagues and in wishing them all the best. To close, some necessary announcements. Seniors, proceed immediately to the chapel for the last night's service. Parents and family members, feel free to proceed to the tent beyond the dining hall for a reception and desserts. Your sixth form children will join you shortly. Underformers, dorms, in 5 minutes, please. Aw. You are all invited to join Dr. Toussaint and others for the annual School Road Run. Those who would like to participate, we'll meet at the flagpole at 7:15 and we'll be on our way at 7:30. And finally, and most important, Millbrook's 88th commencement exercises will begin promptly at 11. Parents, family, and friends, please be seated by 10:45. Good night and thank you.